Hi, my name is Sophia Elaine Aluzarita, and this is a history of elementary house wiring for residential and commercial. Electrical service to American homes for residential and commercial began in the late 1890s and blossomed from 1920 to 1935, by which time 70% of American homes were connected to the electrical utility grid. From 1880 to 1940, knob and tube wiring was the first type of electrical wiring in homes. This type of wiring consisted of two wire singles run parallel within wall or ceiling cavities. The wires were run through joints and stud holes through porcelain tubes and supported along their length. With porcelain knob insulators, which were nailed down, knob and tube wiring was labor-intensive and expensive to install, eventually replaced with rag wire. In the 1930s, a quicker installation method was developed. Non-metallic sheeted cable was born, which incorporated a rubberized fabric coating sheet. Much like knob and tube wiring, but there are hot and neutral wire were run together in one sheeting. It also had its thrown box due to the lack of ground wire, but its development would eventually lead to major innovation. Early thread cable, however, also has an expected lifespan of about 25 years, and where it is still in use, such installation need to be upgraded. Who is the name of the inventor? It is Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison was born on the 11th of February in the year 1847, residing for a short time in Milan, Ohio of the United States of America. 1878 came along and Edison focused on the field of electricity and lightning, leaving his other invention behind. On October 15 of that year, Edison Light Co. was formed by Edison himself and a group of investors. Where and when it all began. Thomas Edison exhibited his newly invented electric lighting in a few houses along a residential neighborhood in Menlo Park, New Jersey. That New Year's Eve night proved not only to be historical in terms of its significance to American ingenuity and invention, but it also signified the beginnings of residential electrification in the United States, although originally available to only the wealthiest of families. By the turn of the centuries, electricity in the home was becoming a reality for more and more people. This paper traces the history of some residential wiring practices from the early days of electricity in the 21st century.
It is important to have a pan-electrical house wiring in your home or in your commercial building. Having electrical house wiring can prevent you to such damages that may harm people. Examples of this are burning of the house, short circuits, and electrical shock. Having electrical house wiring can have an effortless repair because your electrical wires are organized and it is easy to distinguish the damage in your wiring. Also, it can save you a lot of money when you have electrical house wiring. Why? Because when you invest in the right item, it will give you convenience and safety. Most of the electrical failures in India are due to the failures of electrical wires. People often ignore the significance of this major material. A perfect power cable must be able to perform in case of electrical failures, overloading, sudden electrical fluctuations, and should be even fire retardant in case of any hazard. If you're thinking of upgrading your cables in your home or in your commercial building or just curious to know about them, we can tell you 3 important things about electrical wires.
Number 1 is copper versus aluminum. Undoubtedly, copper is a better conductor of electricity and it will act better in case of conducting electricity. But when it comes to conduction in electrical waves, there are many factors that we are accountable for. In case of super high voltage carried for a longer distance, aluminum is much economical and better conductor as compared to copper. Aluminum may have 61% of copper's conductivity but has only 30% weight as the copper, which makes them easier to spread across. Number 2, cable armor cannot prevent moisture. It is often estimated that the cable armor is meant to prevent moisture in cables, which is untrue. The armor on electrical wires is used to shield the cables from any physical damage. Armor is generally made up of steel wires or tape, which increases the strength, making the cables safe from any kind of physical damage. The wide options available in the market can make you buy a poor quality power cable without the right specifications. Factors like durability, material, safety, flame retardant, capacity, free from harmful gases are few such traits that a good power cable must acquire. Number 3, the current capacity of cable varies. Most of the people think that electrical wires retain consistent or stable current all the time, which is completely false. The truth is that the current capacity of wire varies with respect to the depth at which the cable have been laid or with the ground or air temperature. Hence, it is very crucial to choose a power cable that are good quality and have high endurance with any such factors. The matter of safety is the foremost when it comes to electrical wires. It is the backbone of any electrical system failing on which can lead to fatal accidents. Their endurance should be high and there must acquire the tendency of ensuring safety in case of worst case scenario, which is in case of fire.
The possibilities of wrong electrical wiring can lead you to harmful scenarios like short circuit, burning of the house, and electrical shock. This might harm your lives and the lives of your loved ones. This will also cost you a lot of money because you tend to make the repair again and again. Also, when the electrical house wiring is wrong, it is hard to distinguish where the problem is. It is hard that maybe the wires that you thought have problem might cause you to damage. The benefits of having electrical wiring at home and at commercial is that you can save a lot of money and it will help you distinguish easily where your wires might have problem in the future. Also, having an electrical house wiring at home or at building can save you from experiencing that damage.
Useful applications of electrical house wiring in residential and commercial. The electrical wiring system are mostly standardized with several rules, regulations, and laws. Electrical wiring must be installed correctly and safely in accordance with electrical regulation and standard. If the electrical wiring is carried out incorrectly, or without conforming to any standard, then it may lead to incidents like short circuits, electric shocks, damage to the device or appliance, or leads to the malfunctioning of device which further causes for the reduction of device life. Several factors have to be considered before the actual installation work to be done for residential, commercial, or industrial wiring. These factors include type of building, type of ceiling, floor and wall construction, wiring methods, and installation requirements. Electrical wiring is an important part of a building, be it a residential building, large commercial spaces, or industries. Commercial and residential electrical wiring are completely different in terms of energy needs, load demands, and equipment setup. They also require different classes, materials, and procedures. Integrity power and electric specialists in commercial and industrial electrical work. Residential electrical wiring is always completely covered with sheet insulation. This is meant to protect residents from electrical shock. From a technical aspect, most residential wiring are single-phase and 120 volts, consisting of 3 wires, positive, negative, and neutral. For some more demanding appliances such as air conditioning units, refrigerators, washers, and heaters, use a 2-phase circuit of 240 volts. In commercial application, this wiring is normally run through ceiling rafters where it is easily accessible to service. For residential applications, the wiring is normally hidden from view within walls and attic crawl spaces. Electrical wiring normally uses a 3-phase design. In 3-phase electrical system, there are 2 smaller legs running 120 volts and in wider leg running 208 volts. This setup allows each wire less workload while creating a higher output when they work together. This leads to greater efficiency and longer-lasting equipment. The higher voltage requirements are due to the increased power demands in an office environment. Commercial wiring often has a higher level of insulation, known as thermoplastic high heat resistant.
This helps to protect the electrical wiring for corrosion gases and liquids. In some cases, special outlets may be installed for power-hungry or especially sensitive equipment.